one of the big questions, of course, is always security, right? You know, how secure is this this hotspot that I'm putting in? Guys, I want to take you to a page real quick, if you don't mind, and show you basically. It's helium.com/hosts, HOSTS, right? And I would, if you have people that are kind of inquiring, this is a great page to send them to because, number one, it's got the video that first attracted me and Michael to looking at helium. It's the video that we've all watched a million times, right?
I'm glad you asked video.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, right? So that's there. And then it goes into, you know, what is an IoT device? All these questions that people ask, you know, how much power does a hotspot require? Why does it need my Wi-Fi, right? And it explains all of that. And how long does it take to deploy? So it's got all of the security question. Then there's a network security overview here that'll take you to this FAQ about, you know, open ports. And this is a great place to be to get all kinds of other information on helium. But then who else is operating hotspots? It takes you to the live coverage map. How do I maintain a hotspot after it's deployed? What's HNT? And, you know, it's got all kinds of links that take you to different places and let your prospect kind of zoom around, if you will, and get information about what it is we're talking about. Because if every prospect was like me, I didn't have a clue what the IoT network was. I didn't have a clue what helium was. I didn't have a clue what a helium cryptocurrency was. And so it was, you know, it was great information for me to access. So I wanted all of you to know where that website is, helium.com/hosts, and just take them to it. So, yeah, I mean, you know, we're talking. I'm looking at some of the chats that are coming through about, you know, everybody, you know, like Eric said, everybody wants hotspots now, right? But again, let me point out the fact that we've been involved in a pandemic, right? We've been involved in a chip shortage that we have nothing and no control over. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, we are out there signing and buying product and putting purchase orders in place and doing. I wish I could show you some of the things that the wizards have put together, you know, in the what we call the admin section of everything. But it is truly remarkable because what they've done is they've been able to break down all of the countries where all of the traffic is coming from. Look at all of the countries where, you know, and what the registration and the frequency for the miners that are going to have to go into those particular countries. Remember, we're building a worldwide wireless network, and, you know, we've run into some challenges, you know, and that's just, you know, we'd like to be able to deliver hotspots to everybody immediately, but, you know, it's just, it is what it is. So nothing, yes, you can't make any money, but what you can do is you can build your team, and when the floodgates open, like Eric said, when the floodgates open, what would you rather have? And that's what Dr. Tunis was saying. What would you rather have? Start with 0 people, and because this whole chip shortage and everything is going to go away. right? I mean, it's just a matter of time. So, and I see 52,000 people joined iHub from Indonesia. That's awesome, right? I mean, and that's definitely a country that we're going to get to. So, so Michael, that's my little bit of information. You want to go over something else that you were talking about?
Well, I mean, I think I'm trying to remember what a couple of the other things are, and it doesn't quite come to mind right now, Chuck. Perhaps we can answer a few questions, and maybe it'll trigger. We want to make sure people have the information they need. But as Dr. Tunis was saying, 99% of the questions are all answered in the Helium Track back office. And one thing that I noticed, Chuck, when I was going through that admin section that you were referring to, in the FAQ section back there, there's almost like 60 FAQs. When you look at the FAQ little piece in the support center, there's like 5 of the top most commonly asked FAQs. But if you go to that search bar at the very top of the support center screen and you put in like your question, it'll search everything on the entire support site. And there's, like I say, there's probably almost 99% plus of all the questions people are asking are there, as long as you just go in and look for it. And you can do it in multiple languages. You've got 17 languages right now, I think, that are built into that back office. Every single piece of text in the entire Helium Track back office, even when you're doing the reserved units, even the labels and the things that you see come up in the map and all that, it's all language translated. So there's an awful lot there. And guys, just like Eric was saying, we're in the early stages of this. And who knows even what we're going to see by the time this event comes around in just a little over a month from now, in terms of more stuff that's being deployed to make this even easier for everybody to get the information out. So I think just riding on what you're saying, Chuck, and what Eric was referring to, there is a ton of stuff going on behind the scenes with conversations with various manufacturers around the world. That we're doing everything in our power to do to be able to set the stage for getting units deployed where we need to have them deployed. And then, as you said, Chuck, sooner or later, the supply is going to catch up with the demand. It always does, whether it's a year from now or 2 years from now or 6 months from now. Maybe there'll be breakthroughs in certain chip shortages that are like the limiting chips for these manufacturers, where all of a sudden those particular ones will accelerate faster than other ones in general. We just don't know what people's creative processes are in solving problems. But I just want to give everybody sort of a sense of how this is all going to be rolled out, because right now there's extraordinary things going on behind the scenes as far as doing our beta test development of our free deployment model, which is something that is brand new for iHub. We were very excited about being on the verge of rolling this out so that by the time the event comes in November, we will have worked out a lot of the fine-tuning aspects of the deployment program. A lot of people ask questions about, well, what happens if this occurs or that occurs, or if they have to move, or what's the contract going to look like in terms of the hosting agreement? All those things will be, fine-tuned and clarified so that when we get to that November 6th event, it's going to be a major rollout, and that's what's so exciting about this. And then as we get that process fine-tuned here initially, locally in the States, then we'll be able to then move it out in other locations and deal with ever the regional variations that are requiring when some of these aspects are necessary to do. So this is a huge, huge endeavor. And, I do believe this is an unprecedented opportunity that's been put together with a lot of hands making it happen. And it's very, very gratifying to see it coming together. So, Chuck, did you see any question that you think that we should address?
Well, there's questions in here about, the big question everybody is starting to get is how much is the shipping charge going to be, for their hotspot to arrive, and what's that going to look like? Still a lot of questions about wanting hotspots, and hopefully we've answered that. Guys, we absolutely have zero control over the manufacturing process, and so there's nothing we can do. We've got a conversation with the manufacturer on Monday that tells us that they can manufacture and have to us 10,000 hotspots a month. And so we're going to see. And if they can, then we'll give them a purchase order, and we'll look for those hotspots. So we're going to have them from lots of different manufacturers. When may it be delivered in India? Michael, I know you're working on a manufacturer in India, right?
That's right. That's right. So we'll have to see how that comes around. But, there's other pieces involved in that process, making sure that we got our I's dotted and T's crossed on any kind of country specific regulatory things. But it looks like we'll be able to at least get some flow going once we get the other portion of it ready, and probably or hopefully that'll happen simultaneously. But we're just going to have to wait and see, guys. Here's the one thing that we promise, and that is that we will do everything in our power to make sure that this is all put together to be a long-term proposition, something that will benefit your families for years and decades to come. The helium model that they've put together is to ensure a minimum of 50 years of helium production into the 2070s. To make sure that the mining continues to happen. They got it really well put together. So we want to make sure that we do everything by the book, and that book's going to be different for different places around the world, to make sure that once people go and put this in place, that it's something that's going to continue to benefit their families for a long, long time.
Well, and I know that you told me today that a new attorney's been added to the staff to handle international specifically. Is that right?
Yes, there's as Rick was saying, it seems like we've got an army of attorneys right now.
Right.
But this is a new one that has the particular expertise that we're looking for in that regard. And so, we're just being really conservative about this. Perhaps we could play a little bit more on the edge, a little over at the edge, but I don't think that suits any of us in terms of wanting to have something that's not just a short-term, hey, here, we put this together and make some quick bucks and move on to the next thing. Like sometimes in these direct sales operations, a lot of people have been exposed to. No, this is completely different, folks. We're looking for this to be a legacy opportunity that we're building for our families and our families' families. So what you seeing there, Chuck?
Yeah, real good. Hey guys, well, we could go into lots of other things. We're just kind of, answering the chats as they come through. But, I hope that you're as excited about, the broadcast and the event, and you're going to get more information about the event. We had heard, and don't have it confirmed yet, so we really couldn't announce it, that, yes, there's only 250 in the Worry Studios that we're going to be at on the 6th. But that evening, we hear that it could be a much larger venue, and that's still being confirmed. And so that's going to be open for a lot more people if, in fact, that happens. And so we're just waiting for that confirmation to happen. And it could be next Tuesday that we talk about it. It could be next Thursday that we talk about it. But we'll get to that very, very quickly. We want everybody to participate. And we're hoping that we have, tens of thousands of people watching the broadcast around the world. So, Michael, I don't know that there's anything else that we need to cover tonight. We've got most of everything accomplished that I see. So Guys,
but
our schedule.
There is one question that just came in that I think is relevant. They're asking on how does China's stance on crypto mining and currency affect us? And our attorneys basically counseled us that we cannot be reserving units and enrolling people right now in China, because effectively that would put us in a situation that would be against the law there in China. We certainly wouldn't want to put anybody at risk at doing that. So I think all that's been suspended right now until we get further clarification. However, we'll just have to wait and see. You know, China has been known to make statements along these lines over the years. It's the multiple time that statements have been made, but we're just going to have to wait and see. But we don't want to put anybody at risk over there.
Real good. Hey, guys, so our next big event is Monday, 9 p.m. East Coast time on this very same Zoom. And then Tuesday on this very same channel, same time, 9 p.m. And then Wednesday at 5 p.m. East Coast time on this very same channel. And then Thursday, once again, we meet at 9 o'clock. So put it on your calendar. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 9 o'clock right here, 5 o'clock. We do a business opportunity meeting at 5 o'clock, make it more convenient for our friends in Europe. So by all means, put that on your schedule so that you've got that and you can participate in all of those things. And we'll get a lot more information as things roll on. So hope everybody had a great time tonight. Michael, thank you very much. And Eric, we couldn't do any of this without you and your team. And John, I know John Krim is in Las Vegas right now, as is Rick Cotton, working on a lot of things on our behalf. So, guys, it was a pleasure being with everybody here this evening. This recording will be up on the Helium Track system. And with that, God bless everybody. Stay safe, and we will see you when we see you, hopefully next Monday. Talk to you all later. Good night, everybody. Good night, Michael. Okay, buddy. Talk to you.
Bye all.
Okay, good night.